We got a you have a bunch of different fans on here. I was talking to Andrea this morning. She's pumped the Lightning. The Panthers are in. I didn't know Melissa was a Lightning fan. Got some hockey fans on here. All right, it's gonna be a good ride. Um, well, welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Avalanche, yeah. So there we go. Colorado's real damn good. I can talk about hockey if you want, but I have people probably get off the call. So we'll save that for another time. We'll start a little private group chat and trash talk each other the rest of the way. That's what it's all about. How was everybody's weekend? Someone drop something in the chat or speak up because I'd love to know how you guys did over the weekend or what you got into or anything. Somebody give me something to roll with other than I'm exhausted, Katie. I'm exhausted too, but it's all
I
right.
have something from today.
Go
So
for it. There you are.
I went to home. Okay, where am I? I'm here. I went to Home Depot today, like unintentionally. I was like, oh, all the plants are out. I'm gonna go look. And I really like bleeding hearts, and I have two colors now, so I bought a new color today. And the lady at the checkout was like, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful, but mine always like they come back every year, but they're always so small. And I was like, okay, well, do you at the end of the year, do you cut back the old growth as it dies back, so that way the next year they have the energy to be able to grow? And she's like, oh no, I don't do that, but I'm always scared that I'm going to hurt it. And it totally made me think of like everybody in this journey that we're on right now. It's like sometimes you have to cut back on what you're doing, or you have to cut certain things out that are like scary, and you're like, oh, I'm worried about what that person is going to say or how this is going to affect my future, but you know deep down that in the long run it's going to benefit you. And I was like, oh, that's a perfect application. Like, yeah, it's scary to have to cut that plant back, but then the next year it comes back twice as big. So it takes time, but it pays off in the long run.
That's super cool. I love that little metaphor of, or comparison to life. If we cut things back or cut things out or tell ourselves we don't need this right now for even if it's just like FOMO, that's what I'm hearing you say. It's, hey, you're on a path to grow bigger, more beautiful, and really become what you're meant to become. But sometimes we got to take our foot off the gas. And I think even if I can expand on that, really, it's like, even if we take our foot off the gas and like zoom out a little bit, like I always say, when in doubt, zoom out. Or when you're going through tough times, you can slow down and gain some perspective. You're able to see the path a little bit more clearly. And that could be enough just to get you to where you want to be. Thank you. I really appreciate you sharing that, Jamie. That was really cool. Mom, did you put your hand up? Would you like to share something?
Yes, I did.
What's
So
up?
this Saturday, I work for the YMCA at Glen Cove. And this Saturday we had and I've been there for over 30 years. This Saturday we had our very first 5K run. And we had over 500 runners, but it was so amazing because I was a runner. I haven't ran in about 2 years since this whole pandemic kicked in. I overdid it, I guess, during the pandemic. So it was so amazing to see how the run race works when you're setting up behind the scenes, what it takes to put a race together. And then once the day of came, how we all had to set up. And I was the one directing traffic into the area. And then I was the one cheering everybody on when they came up and in through the finish line. And it was just so special and so amazing. And everyone had an awesome time. And it's just the first of many to come, but it was such a great feeling to see all those people who say, I can't run, I'm going to give it a try. And I said, you can do what you can do as long as you put your mind to it. And with that, they did. Some ran and walked, some just walked, but it was pretty special. So I had a great, it made me want to get out there and start running again.
There you go. That's inspiring.
Maybe for next year, I'll be part of it as opposed to working it.
I love hearing that, like putting something together with 500 people. That's no small feat, even for a big company like the one you work for. And that's incredible that you got to be a part of it.
It was so great.
Cool. Charles, I saw your hand went up and then you disappeared. Where'd you go?
I'm here.
All right. What's up?
So I'm going off of the running and stuff. I've ran my own 10K on Friday, and then on Saturday signed up for one on Memorial Day to do an actual 10K race.
So you're gonna do Murph and a 10K on Memorial Day?
And I'm gonna do Murph on the 26th as well.
So you're doing Murph twice and a 10K on
Yeah.
Memorial Day? That's what I'm hearing. Katie, you're writing this down, right? Charles says he's going to do Murph twice and a 10K on Memorial Day in the same day, right?
You work. And then June 1st, I'm gonna do like a 50-pound ruck. So
There you go. Look at you. Look at you. Taking on life.
Doing stuff and things.
Limitless. I like it. If anybody doesn't know Charles, Chuck, whatever you want to call him, I call him Charles when I'm angry. I'm like, hey, you didn't track your food. No, it doesn't happen. He came to me reluctantly. My brother had to twist his arm a little bit. And we had a conversation. I was like, what do you want to do, man? He's like, well, I want to go get this job. And I didn't pass the physical test when I first wanted it, but I want to do it. And I was like, all right, so what's that going to take? We had a little conversation and we started real simple, started real slow. Basics, protein, get a workout in every day, drink your fucking water, go to sleep on time. That didn't really happen right away. And slowly and surely, he started to see changes in his energy, in his focus, in his training, in his ability to do something that he wouldn't normally have done. Because change is scary. Not knowing what success feels like is scary. So what do we do before we start to see this momentum happen? We jump into something and it's like, oh, this is really hard, and we stop. Or we start for a little bit and then we do it half-ass and we're not seeing results, so we stop. Charles had an amazing first challenge. It was our $500. What's up?
I said, which started with COVID.
It started with COVID. He had COVID and he's like, I don't know, maybe I should wait. And I was like, no, we're not going to wait. We're going to do this. And he ended up being a $500 winner for that challenge, runner up. And then he's like, I'm going to do this 75 hard thing. And he's still doing it right now. What are you down? 30 plus pounds since January 1st?
I think we're at 40 now.
Just about 40 this week.
And now it's like Kevin will message me and be like, how about we add this? Done. How about we add this? Done. How about we take away half your food? Done.
Don't exaggerate. Half your food. Oh man. But
I feel that,
Yeah.
Charles. You and me,
I
man.
Message you, Katie, and be like, I'm so sorry for teasing you, because right after I made all those jokes, he was like, how about like 70 less carbs? I was like, ah, cool.
He said he wanted to get lean and mean. I was like, all right, let's do it. He's gonna ride that motorcycle without a shirt on, all right?
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. But the point is, like, none of this would have happened unless he believed in where he wanted to go. Oh, and by the way, he got the job, and in the fall, he gets to go do that job he wants to do. We forgot to say that. Nothing else actually matters. But he gets to go do the job that he wants to do, that he couldn't do before because he didn't put the time in to get to where he wants to go. And I bet I'm going to ask you right now, out of all the things, or income, if I had to ask you between the way you think and the way you look, what would you take right now if you only could pick one?
The mindset.
Yeah.
Times. Somebody asked me the other day about 75 hard, and I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was just like, the losing the weight and all that, it's just a bonus. Like, the way I feel when I look at the mirror and the way I think about myself and the way I like carry myself and talk to people now, it's like you couldn't pay for it, honestly.
Are you typing while you're talking to me?
No, I'm fidgeting.
I thought you were somebody. I heard someone clicking on a keyboard.
Fidgeting.
I thought someone. I was like, but you're right. And look, guess what? Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second too. Everything that he's done physically wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the mental aspect of one decision after the next, one decision after the next. But what I would also put money on, for anyone that has seen an inkling of success in themselves in an event that they put together, right? In a conversation that they had, like Jamie said, or the 5K that my mom put together, Charles's weight loss journey, his ability to run that 10K the other day for the first time intentionally and get a really good time. There's this overall gratitude that you have in those moments. Otherwise, I wouldn't think that you'd share them. And what I mean by gratitude in those moments is that if you look around you, right? The people around you, the places that you're in, the conversations that you have, there's so much to be thankful for. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I know we're 15 minutes into this call, but I love hearing from you guys. I can't be the only one talking all the time. So if this is your first call, I just got right into it today. So welcome to the Mindset Huddle. And this is the best community on the face of the earth. And people are changing their lives every single day. This weekend, I had the pleasure of going out to Colorado and hanging out with the one and only Katie Stevenson. I got out there on Thursday. We had some work to do Thursday and Friday before we competed together on Saturday. What I'm going to go through is really kind of like my thought process, because this was probably one of the best weekends I've ever had in my life. It started off with us getting there, going to the store, getting ready, having a good conversation, catching up. Right. And then we had, between the 2 days, Thursday and Friday, we had 8 hours of group interviews where we interviewed about 60 people who want to work with us at Hidden Summit, which to me is fucking mind blowing. Like, I'm so beyond grateful for every single person that applied and got on a call and shared why they wanted to be a part of this team. And when Katie and I sit down, we have these conversations in like closed quarters or on Zoom when no one else is there. Really what the goal is to touch as many lives as we possibly can and show them exactly what Jamie said, what Charles said, what my mom says. Like, you can do things that you've never done before when you start to believe that you can do them. And even though you don't know when it's going to happen, if you continue to put one foot in front of the other and trust the process of progress over time, you are going to change your life and the life of many people around you. The woman that Jamie had a conversation with, okay? The people that Charles is inspiring by all what he's doing with 75 Hard. The people that couldn't run the races that my mom put together with her team. You guys are the center of it all. Like, if Katie and I didn't have you, it would just be us doing reels and shit together. Like, nobody wants to see that. I don't know. Katie does a lot of reels. Did you see her Jim Carrey reel? It was actually incredible. Her facial expressions were spot on. It was really good. Did it go
For
viral?
everyone's aware, like, just so you know, I did buy a new plunger. It was clean, fresh out of the store.
Wink. So really, like, those calls, like between those calls, we had a great conversation about every single person that was on those calls. And it's gonna be so hard to, choose who is going to work with us next, because we're not able to bring on more people right now. The fact that we're doubling the size of this team is terrifying, one, to be totally honest, right? But rewarding, because we want to make sure that nothing changes. And as we push to grow, at our core, our roots is that we want to make sure that we touch every single person that comes into this group, that we know your name, that we understand why you're here, that we get where you want to go, right? I might not know everything about everybody that Katie works with one-on-one, and Katie might not know everything about everybody that I work with one-on-one. And same thing for Justin and Eric and the new people that we bring on. But we're going to be a bunch of familiar faces that know that when you say that you're part of Hidden Summit, you're here to become better and affect the people around you. And that's how the weekend started. It was just like this amazing, like, I was at peace. I was exhausted because I don't know if you've ever interviewed for 8 hours. It's like actually exhausting. But I was so at peace with the fact that I am thankful, grateful that you guys are hearing what we're saying and taking it with you. So much so that you want to be a part of it. So gratitude is number one. If you can be grateful for the things that you have, the people around you, the environment that you're in, what you've created, I think you're able to smile through the day a little bit more. And I think that Thursday and Friday interview, even though I was super jet lagged, set the tone for Saturday. Saturday was game day. It was competition. Katie and I went in with one goal: to win. And we did. Don't worry. I mean, I know you guys were like concerned for a second, but we actually won. It was fantastic. But it wasn't a perfect day. Heck no. I actually, had ups and downs. I had events I really liked. I didn't hit the lift I wanted to hit. Katie and I we wanted to do this one workout perfectly, and we did. We wanted to do this other workout perfectly, and we messed up because we held ourselves for, at a pretty high standard. Katie comes to me. She's like, "I'm sorry, I dropped off on the one rep." I was like, "Katie, we beat everybody by almost 2 minutes. Like we're doing okay. Like, don't worry about it." She's like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, we're doing okay. We kept each other calm. We kept each other focused. And then life happens. In the lifting event, I actually lifted what was tied to be the heaviest lift of the day. And one of the owners had a prize to hand out to the person who lifted the heaviest. And he was set on doing a tiebreaker. And I was like, "Look, man, I'm here to work out with Katie and we're going to win this thing. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about lifting the heaviest. Like, you can give it to the other guy." He's like, "No, we're going to do a tiebreaker." And that was the last I heard of it. Then time goes on. We finish our workout. We knew we sealed the deal. We were going to stand on top of the podium. I'm going and relaxing, eating food, hanging out, chit-chatting with Katie's parents, talking shit. I mean, talking her up because she's awesome. They're the cutest, by the way. They're like the nicest, sweetest people on the planet. One sec, Callie. I see you. I'm flowing right now. And then the end of the day comes when they're about to announce all the winners for the different divisions. And he goes, "First, we need Kevin and Sal to come up and do the tiebreaker for the heaviest lift." I was like, "Okay, we're going to do another lift or something right now. I mean, I really don't want to. I've been sitting around for 2 hours. My shoes are untied. I don't have my workout clothes on anymore." And he's like, "We're going to do this workout." And this workout was actually like the hardest workout of the day that had nothing to do with lifting at all. It was very gymnastics heavy and cardio driven. And I was like, "All right, I guess we're going to do this." And we began, and I started, and then I felt my hands start to go. And then both of my hands ripped on the bar in the second round. And then I went up for another rep, and then they ripped even more. And now I have holes in my hands. There was blood everywhere. It was bad. It was kind of like a scene from a movie. I've never bled that much. And I just looked up and I was like, "I'm done." In my head, I shot Katie a look and I was like, "This is it. I'm done." And I was upset. I was really, really annoyed because I wasn't heard. I wasn't, taken seriously. And then I went to go be a team player and it didn't work out. I wasn't mad that I didn't win the workout and I had to stop. Like, the prize was a bag of sandwiches. It's like not a big deal. But I would have let that ruin my day in the past. So I took myself outside, like dodged the crowd to go bleed all over the parking lot and get some hydrogen peroxide on my hands. Ow. Ouch, that really hurt. Katie came out, my friend came out, they helped me bandage my hands up, walked inside like nothing happened. They called our name, we went up, smiled, gave Katie a hug, proud of her for competing. She was like, I want to win. I was like, we're going to win, don't worry. And we won. But the point is, like, I was in such a good place because of the conversations I had the day before, the friendship that I have with Katie, and the conversations that we had in between, the community that surrounded us at the event. People came from miles and hours away to hang out with us for a couple of hours. Like, we're not that cool. Like, we're nerds. Like, I like watching sports and playing with my puppies. Katie, you're a nerd too. You play video games and it's awesome. That's what I love about you. But I was in such a good place because the truth of the matter is, my hands will heal. It won't matter a week from now. But what will matter a week from now is the people who came to see us, and the conversations that we had, and the photos that we took, and the smiles that we shared, and the memories that we made. And I think that at the end of the day, a lot of us get wrapped up in the little things that knock us off our path. Right? You woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, anybody? A little hot for you? Anybody rush to the airport? Is Andrea still on the call? Hey, I see you. Your phone's off. I see you. We can get shaken really easily. And life tested me again the next day when Katie didn't wake up and her alarm went off for the second trip in a row. I went and knocked on the door and she still didn't wake up. I was like, we got to go. I got a flight to catch. So I went home. I went to go home to the airport. And I was like, Katie, do you think it's going to be busy? It's 4 a.m. You think anybody's going to be here? She was like, I don't know, maybe not. And we pulled up and I was like, oh, there's a couple of cars out front, more people than I thought at 4 o'clock in the morning. Holy shit. It was the busiest I have seen any airport in any state or country ever at 4 a.m. on a Sunday in Denver, like just giving away free flights. What the heck's going on? Like literally, I don't know if anybody's ever been to the Denver airport. It's not small. The line wrapped around the entire first floor from the south side to the north side. And my flight was in 90 minutes. I was like, this could be interesting. But what I noticed around me, and me saying, because I texted Katie, I was like, this is going to be close. Or I was like, there's a really long line, or I told her where I was. She was like, holy shit. And I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'll get home eventually. Like, my mom canceled on me. We were supposed to go to brunch together. Hi, Mom. We'll go to brunch someday soon. Don't worry. But I was like, I'll get home. But the people around me were panicking. They were rushing. They were cursing. They were yelling on their phones. It was wild at 4 a.m. I just got a lot of good people watching it. So what did I do? I made the most of it. There's a girl in front of me, a woman, and she was talking to what I would assume is her boyfriend or husband on the other line. And she was panicking. It didn't make much sense. She was blaming it on the airline that she booked a flight through. And I was like, we're all going to the same place in my head. So I was like, hey, where are you heading? She's like, St. Louis. And I was like, I love St. Louis. I go there all the time. You know, what are you going there for? She's like, oh, I live there now. I was like, are you from there? She's like, no, I'm from Colorado. She's like, where are you going? I'm going to New York. Her flight was after mine. So she had more time, but she was freaking out more than I was. And I was like, you know what? I think we'll get there. And if we don't, there are more flights. We had a couple more exchanges, had a good conversation for 4:15, 4:30 in the morning. And we made it through. But she seemed a little bit more calm after our talk. And then I got on the tram to the shuttle to go to my terminal, and my bag broke. Like the clip just popped. My laptop in my bag fell on the floor. These two people looked at me, like standing right in front of me. And they're like, "Oh, that sucks." I'm like, "Yeah, we hope your day gets better." And I was like, you know, I don't know how to have a bad day. That was the first time I said that to a stranger in a very long time. But I smiled and I was like, it's just a bag. It's just a computer. It's 4:30 in the morning. We're going to be okay. So I go to the airport. There's a line at Starbucks. I was like, I got like 30 minutes. I don't want to rush it. I don't need coffee. So I'm going to be okay. So I go to the line, get a really good seat. No one sits next to me. Someone sits in the aisle. I have a conversation with that guy. Like, this is the most conversations I've had before 5 a.m. in a long time. He was going to see his brother graduate from Columbia. He just travels the world a little bit, came back. He's going to try and get into a job in the entertainment industry in Hollywood. I was like, that's really cool. I think that's so super cool. You know what you want to do? You want to leave oil industry and go to Hollywood. Fuck yeah, let's go. So what I'm getting at with all this is, like, I didn't have to have a conversation with anybody. I'm sure I didn't even want to have a conversation with anybody. But something in my heart said, like, these people need you to talk to them right now, because no one else is going to talk to them right now. It's 4:30 in the morning and everybody's panicking at the airport. Nobody's happy to be at the airport and go through TSA. Nobody wants to take off their shoes in front of other adults, right? It's just a fact. But everything happens for a reason. And I truly believe that the power of positive thinking, the self-fulfilling prophecy, the law of attraction, God's way, God's plan, however you want to look at it, is a real thing. There is energy out in the world. And by nature, we bounce energy back and forth. If you put good energy out there, you're going to get it back. And that starts with, like I'm going back to the beginning, gratitude and appreciation. So being thankful for what you have, showing appreciation for those around you, and then sharing that with other people. That's what we were built to do. You may not be exactly where you want to be right now, but if you're grateful for what you have and you're appreciative of it and you share that with other people through simple conversation and kind gestures, by being a good human being and having integrity and being honest and being trustworthy, don't you think life's going to be a little bit easier, a little bit lighter, a little bit better? I do. And I think it comes full circle. So much so that things just work out, because I went home and I was super polite to my cab driver, who was a little strange. He took a weird way home, and I think he was just trying to take a little bit more money out of the cab. But I was like, whatever, dude. Here's your tip. Have an amazing Sunday. I walked in. Again, by this point, I realized that we weren't taking our moms out to brunch, but we were going to go to our friend's 1-year-old's birthday party. And I was like, cool, I'm going to do my work. I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to get changed, and we're going to go. Before I finished that sentence, I got a phone call. I got a phone call from a friend who works at Madison Square Garden saying, hey, I have 2 tickets to Game 7 tonight. Do you want to go? I was like, yes. I was just, absolutely, I want to go. How much? He's like, whatever you want to send me. I was like, my man, let's do it. So the crazy part is, Katie and I were driving the day before, or on the way to the airport. It was on the way to the airport. I was like, do you think I should try and get a ticket to the game tonight? She was like, I don't know, maybe. And I was like, it's probably going to be really expensive, but I would love to be there. And then all that crazy shit happened at the airport, and I had those conversations with all those people, and I told those people I don't know how to have a bad day. And then the timing worked out with the brunch thing. And then I got a phone call like, hey, I got 2 tickets. So I took my father-in-law, and I just felt like I was nervous and I was happy. And I was like, if you guys know me, I love sports. I love the team. I love sports. I love New York sports. And even if you don't like it, like, or watch it, this was a moment I'll never forget. The Rangers winning in overtime in Game 7 in a playoff series with a sold out crowd screaming at the top of their lungs, standing there next to my father-in-law, who's a lifelong Rangers fan. it was something that will be irreplaceable to top off. Like I said, was one of the best weekends I had ever had anyway. So if you don't think that the law of attraction is real, you are built to use the energy within you to create the life that you want to live. I can't tell you when it's going to come around. I can't tell you how it's going to come around, but I can sure as hell tell you that if you are beating yourself up on the inside and you're doubting yourself all the way through, it's not going to come around any quicker. And that's what I wanted to share with everybody tonight. Yeah, it was a little bit more of a story and less of a conversation. And I totally changed the topic from last week to what this week was supposed to be to what I wanted to talk about today. However, I do believe that it was worth listening to, because sometimes we get wrapped up in the little things that knock us off and shake us up a little bit, and we can't see clearly. And that has a tendency to spiral. So when that spirals, be grateful, show appreciation, and share that appreciation by asking someone their name or using it in a conversation. Like the guy who checks you out at the gas station. No one says, "Thanks, Joe." They go, "Apple Pay?" You're going to make his fucking day. Or use the barista's name at Starbucks. Little things like that change the world. And you're going to make someone smile. And I think if you can go into this week, which could be a tough week, week 7 is a tough week. Like you're almost there, but you're not there yet. You don't want to sprint to the finish line. You don't want to do too much too soon. Stick to the plan, have fun with it. And if you smile through it all, you're going to enjoy your ride. Thank you for letting me share that story. Thank you for listening to me. Callie, I know you had your hand up and I know I was rolling. So if you got to say something, I would love for you to share that now.
I was just giving you the stage, but no, what got me was I actually had a conversation with Katie earlier about you, and I wanted to say it because of your competition, but there was a video of you guys where you were on the bars. I have no idea what the move is, CrossFit. It was cool, whatever. But you, the whole time, Kevin, you had your eye on Katie, and you made sure that your body matched hers, and you like never left her side. It was like you were the Papa Bear, but you were letting her shine. And it was just like the coolest, most amazing thing. And it just made me like love you guys even more, because you were just making sure that y'all were on beat and you were working hard and you were doing it together, and you 100% let her do her thing. Like you probably could have gone faster, but you didn't. You matched her, and I just watched it over and over again because I was just so freaking impressed with just how amazing of a leader you are. And I get why Katie is the way she is. So I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, thank you. I mean, we're a team, right? Well, I got to stay in sync. You know, should probably beat my ass in some pull-ups these days anyway. I feel like an old man after that weekend. But thank you. Yeah, we make a great team. It was she said, I don't know, it was like a year ago. She's like, "I'm gonna work out with you in a competition one day." And I was like, "All right, cool." And then when it came time to this competition, she was like, "I can't find anybody to work out with me for this competition." She was at my house. Then we're driving to the airport. She's like, "Oh, I can't find anybody." No, it was like before the airport. "I can't find anybody to work out with me. I hope I can." And I was like, "Katie, do you want me to work out with you?" She's like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Just ask." We could work. "Yeah, I'll do it with you." And then we signed up for it and we went and we crushed it. That's how we do it. Show up, do our thing, bleed all over the place, go home.
On that same note, I was telling Callie, because she brought that up in our call this morning, and I told her it was really cool for me, just to see how much we both have grown, but how much I've grown as an athlete specifically, to the point where we were keeping each other calm, but it wasn't no longer a Katie, you need to breathe. Katie, breathe. Katie, move slow down. Like it wasn't a coaching client relationship anymore like it used to be. And that was really cool for me, that we were like on the same team. We were on the same page. We knew how to communicate, even though we live miles apart, and it was just awesome. best weekend ever.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely wouldn't have been able to do that last year.
Absolutely not.
And then it's cool to see everybody. Actually, you know what? Like, yes, Katie, it's amazing to see you grow, but there are so many of you on this call that I see the same thing in, that I work with. I'm looking at Andy. Andy and I go way back in the Wayback Machine, when Hidden Summit was like nobody but Andy and me and my brother. Uno has seen so much growth. Jared, you've been on, a little shorter than they have, but I've seen so much growth with you. Andrea, since you and I started working together, it's just these little conversations. These are the people that Nathan's on the call, Charles, everybody I work with. Elizabeth, hi. I didn't see you hiding down there. I see you too. These black boxes throw me off. I love people's faces, people. I want to see your faces next time. Everybody I work with, like the conversations that we have and how you just, you literally, and I don't even know if you know it, communicate the same thing that Katie just said, but it's about you. And I said this to Maria today, this morning when she came over to train, because she said something similar. And I was like, look, I don't do shit. I just point. I'm just like, okay, this way. Okay, now we're going to go this way. Now we're going to go this way. I'm just like guiding you through little changes. I don't do anything major. I'm not that smart. Like I can't, I'm really not. Like I just get little things make big differences. And I hope you guys who I don't know as well, I'm just starting to know a little bit more, especially the people that work with Katie more one-on-one and I get to talk to on these calls, that we continue these conversations, we keep it going. Because I mean, even like Kelly, you and I spoke on your onboarding call, and I hope things are going well for you. And I want to check in and I want to know. So know that my door is always open, right? Like if you ever want to have a follow-up or conversation, I'm not going to change what your coach is doing, but I'm here to help. Because even if you just want another perspective or opinion, or you just want to talk about how things are going, if you want to see changes, if you want to see more or less of something, that's why we're here, for you. And we can't do that unless we hear it from you. So on that note, you guys go make it the best Monday night of the week, because I'm not going to go say have a great night, because we don't know how to have a bad night. Okay. And join us on the nutrition calls this week. Take part in the challenges. Post the shit out of the Facebook group. Blow it up. Got a lot of new people in there. Show them how to do it. We'll get them on these calls. I promise you. Let's go make it a great week 7. But for now, I'm going to host one more interview. And I'm really excited to see who's going to get on the call and chat with some more people. So I appreciate you guys more than you know. Together we can and will become better. I promise you that. Let's go crush this week. Have a great night. And Katie and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.